What did he actually do? Now.
Oh, I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 creepiest scenes horror movies ripped from real life.
Your mother's dead, and this is my house you're living in. I make the rules here.
It's a great vacation, honey, isn't it?
For this list, we're looking at scenes in horror films that were influenced by or based on true events. Do any of these scenes seem more chilling now? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. The plane crash. Final destination. People have been telling stories about cheating death dating back to ancient Greece.
Could you trade seats with Blake so she and I could sit together? She asked Todd, but he said he had some sort of medical thing.
The Final Destination films takes this concept and uses it as fertile ground for teen horror. The screenwriter behind the first film, Jeffrey Reddick, has said that his inspiration for the plane scene came from an article he read.
Shut up, Brownie.
You're so not funny.
This is your idea of a joke. We tolerate
It's not a joke.
In it, a woman explained how she was to fly back from her vacation when she received a phone call from her mother.
The cabin, it starts to shake, right? And the left side blows up and then the whole plane just explodes.
Her mother had a bad feeling about the woman's booked flight and told her not to take it and to reschedule it instead. The woman heeded her mother's warning and rebooked.
Oh shit!
The plane ultimately crashed, and so she effectively cheated death with her mother's help. Number 9. Crocodile attack. Black water. There are a number of crocodile encounters on record in Australia, and sadly they don't all go as well as Crocodile Dundee would have you to believe.
I get over to the boat, I ride it, I bring it over here and we get out.
That's your plan?
That's my plan.
The film Black Water was inspired by the story of 3 friends who encountered an aggressive croc in Australia's Northern Territory. The crocodile killed one of the party, and the 2 survivors climbed a tree in an effort to escape the beast.
Grace! Grace, it's coming quick! Where is Grace? I'm coming!
They hoped that the croc would eventually lose interest and swim off, but they wound up trapped in the tree for 22 hours, while the crocodile circled below. Adding to the terror of the situation, it did so while clutching the remains of their friend. The tragic incident certainly had all the makings of a horror movie. Number 8. The Outback Murders. Wolf Creek. Again, we find ourselves in the Outback, which, according to horror films, is a dangerous place to visit.
What the bloody hell are you mob doing out here?
Meet Mick Taylor, a terrifying character living in and defending the dreaded bush from unruly tourists, as well as those who have committed no offence whatsoever.
Where do you live?
Oh, I get around, you know. Never know where I might pop up.
The attacks on tourists depicted in this film are primarily based on real-life offender Ivan Milat, who killed a total of 7 tourists between 1989 and 1993 in New South Wales. Much like the fictional Taylor, Milat would arrive in the guise of a helpful local, picking up backpackers on the highways and giving them rides to local attractions.
This little procedure is called making a head on a stick.
Wolf Creek is not an easy watch, and the viewing is only made harder knowing the inspiration behind the film. Number 7. The Dybbuk Box. The Possession. The Dybbuk Box is a relic of Jewish lore in which evil spirits are trapped. The film The Possession borrowed from said lore, particularly its opening scene. A woman attempts to destroy the box only to suffer a stroke. Hard though it might be to believe, this is inspired by a true story. Kevin Then Manis acquired a seemingly innocent vintage wooden wine box at an estate sale and gifted it to his mother for her birthday. The day she received it, she suffered a stroke in her living room.
Mom?
Stories of the Dybbuk box almost always involve ill luck and sickness. It has passed between owners a few times, with one owner keeping it in a special crate buried on his property.
I think it says Dybbuk. It's the Hebrew word for dislocated spirit.
Number 6. Deadly Pet. Eaten alive. Again with the deadly reptiles. This film is loosely based on 1930s serial killer Joe Ball. Ball owned a bar, where he also kept and displayed his pet alligators.
That ain't no ordinary gator. That's a crop.
Ball killed up to 20 women and is rumoured to have fed their remains to his gators. In Eaten Alive, a seedy motel owner, Judd, has a pet crocodile residing in the swamp adjacent to his business.
Come on out of there. Come look at what old Judd done brought you.
Judd commits some murders himself, but unlike Ball, he sometimes allows the crocodile to perform the deed. The true story of Joe Ball is complicated by many possible rumours and inaccuracies, but superficial discrepancies aside, he served as the central inspiration for the film. Number 5. The Ouija Board Curse. Veronica. The Spanish-language film is largely based on 1991's Velecas case.
¿Hay alguien aquí con nosotras?
The character of Veronica is based on Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro, who held a séance at school one day to try to contact her friend's deceased boyfriend, who had died in a motorbike accident. The trio were discovered by a teacher who broke the Ouija board before the session ended, and it is said that Estefania inhaled a sort of smoke that came out of the broken board. She subsequently suffered seizures, hallucinations, and insomnia, only to eventually die a sudden and mysterious death. Number 4. Stranded in the Ocean. Open water. This one is just horrifying. And unfortunately, the concept of being stranded in the open ocean is all too real a possibility.
Daniel, where's the boat? It's a good question.
In 1998, Tom and Eileen Lonergan went on a diving trip off Australia's northeast coast. The boat that had taken them to the location, along with a number of other divers, accidentally left without them.
I love you.
I love you. We're gonna be fine.
The two were never seen again, and their equipment slowly washed up on shore over the next couple of months, including a distress message.
I don't see it.
Are you okay? Are you
I don't know.
The film Open Water depicts what may have happened to the lost couple. The dehydration and hunger, as well as the inevitable panic, is all portrayed extremely effectively in the film. Number 3. Ritualistic Killings. Borderland. This 2007 Mexican-American horror film is based on the actual cult leader, serial killer, and drug dealer Adolfo Constanzo.
What do you want with me?
You're the man of the hour, amigo. You're gonna get to meet Papa real soon. He's an amazing man.
The wrong kind of triple threat, he sacrificed animals and humans in voodoo rituals to bring luck for his customers, which included members of Mexico's cartels. His cult, the Narco-Satanists, were responsible for over a dozen sacrificial murders in the 1980s. Follows 3 American tourists, one of whom is abducted outside a nightclub. This mirrors the real-life abduction and murder of American pre-med student Mark Kilroy.
Parents have a little money. If I can just make a phone call.
It's not about that home style.
Constanzo claimed to have sacrificed Kilroy due to the need for a superior brain for one of his rituals. Number 2, the captured teen, the girl next door. When inspired by true events, horror films typically embellish the facts for shock value.
I'm taking these boys out for a Mr. Softy at the carnival. You stay here and look after your sister. And stay out of the icebox. Can't have you getting fat on us.
The girl next door, however, actually had to omit some of the horrendous acts that occurred in real life. The true story behind the film is extremely difficult and upsetting to hear.
You start giving boys what they want now, and you're gonna turn out to be nothing but a slut, honey. Do you know what a slut is? Do you, Susan? Oh, of course not. You're too young.
In 1965, Indiana teen Sylvia Likens was subject to unspeakable abuse at the hands of her caregiver, Gertrude Banaszewski, which culminated in the 16-year-old's death.
Don't you want to give her a chance to confess? Isn't that the idea?
Nah, still too soon. Take the other book, Willie.
The scene in the film in which Meg Laughlin is held captive and abused in the basement by Ruth and the neighborhood children is based on actual events.
What about Meg?
What about Meg?
You gotta at least put something on those burns and they'll get infected.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Mask, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. If there's one real-life man who inspired much of the late 20th century horror film canon, it's Ed Gein. Gein was a notorious serial killer and body snatcher, but it's the specifics of his crimes that haunt us. When Gein's home was searched by police, the list of things they found is the true stuff of nightmares. Gein had used the body parts of his victims to make clothing and furniture. The horrifying apparel included masks made of skin. He had intended to create an entire skin suit. This is what inspired the character of Leatherface, who wears a skin mask in the influential film franchise.
Sally, I hear something. Stop! Stop!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.